Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hi. In this video, I'm talking about why I stopped living out of my car and everything I learned during the 3 weeks that I was living out of my car full-time. I am getting over a cold right now, so if my voice sounds any different, that's why. My initial goal when I started living out of my car was just to be free, you know? Just experience life. But I just kind of found that I was spending most of my time on my phone, researching new places to see, trying to find things to do, and mostly looking for places to stay each night. I think it was a little harder for me though because I was traveling around on the East Coast, so it was hard to find like free places to stay where it was kind of safe, at least relatively. The only places I could find usually was just Walmart parking lots, which wasn't bad, but it's definitely not ideal. I know out west they have the BLM land, so there's a lot of free campgrounds, so you can just stay there and like camp out. So finding places to stay isn't a huge deal out west, at least that's what I've heard. But on the East Coast, there's like no free camping that I know of, so it was a little difficult. And parking in Walmart parking lots isn't bad, but I felt like I couldn't be obvious that I was camping in my car because like I thought maybe I would get kicked out, or I don't know, maybe people would see that I'm living out of my car and like try to break in while I was sleeping there, which is pretty unlikely, I guess, but those were some of the things that were going through my head while I was on the road. And another thing was food. Cooking food was a pain, mainly because I was mostly staying in Walmart parking lots, so it was pretty difficult. I couldn't like wake up and obviously broadcast that I'm staying in my car and making breakfast. Well, I guess maybe I could have. I don't know. I probably should have tested that more and like just tried it, but I didn't. And when I got there at night, I didn't want to set up a table and just start cooking dinner because I'm like 90% sure I would have been kicked out. Food doesn't seem like a huge deal, but having good food I think is pretty important, especially in today's society. We have access to good food just all the time, and being able to cook your own food I think is pretty important, and it makes it easier, and it makes you more motivated to keep living on the road. Yeah, and I couldn't really cook because, well, I already said why. There was this one time I was trying to cook dinner in this park in a residential area. I thought it was fine because it was a park, you know, but it was like 6 or 7 at night and it was pretty dark out, and then there were these two middle-aged ladies that were walking by going into the park while walking their dogs, and then they saw me and then they just turned around and left. I mean, I guess I had the right to be there because it was a public park, but I don't know, in a residential area, I feel like that's the kind of thing people will get upset about. And I feel like locals are pretty likely to call the cops on you and be like, hey, there's this homeless guy in the park cooking food. And I don't know. In a lot of the videos I've seen about people living out of their van or their car, those people are always traveling around, meeting new people and going on epic adventures with complete strangers, and it's like a party all the time. So a misconception I had was that as soon as you get on the road, you start meeting people and going on cool adventures with strangers. But I'm a pretty introverted person, so it's hard for me to go up to strangers and just start a conversation. So I didn't really meet many people while I was on the road, which I thought would be different. I only met like 2 new people in the 3 weeks that I was on the road. But yeah, that was another misconception that I had. So my biggest issue was definitely the cooking thing. I wasn't willing to spend money eating out every night, and I didn't have a good enough setup to where like I could actually cook food. So most nights I just ended up eating tuna fish or something, which is good, don't get me wrong, I like tuna fish, just not every night. I think the ideal setup for cooking is what Mav has. If for some reason you watch my channel and you don't already know who Mav is, he's a YouTuber who does like car camping stuff. He lived out of his truck for a while and traveled around. But he's got this sweet setup in the bed of his pickup where he can just open the bed of his truck, pull out a drawer, and his stove is right there, and he can set up a cutting board to like chop food and stuff. It's great. I do plan on living out of my car again. I just would like a bigger vehicle, either a van or a truck like Mav has. I think that would be ideal. Also, if you subscribed for the whole van life content, sorry, I'm not currently making that right now. The next few videos are going to be a little random and pretty different. Just a heads up on that. So you can unsubscribe if you want to. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to talk you out of living out of your car. It was a good experience. I really enjoyed it. I would actually recommend doing it. But if you're like me and you watch other van lifers on YouTube making videos about how awesome it is, it's probably not exactly like they make it seem in the videos. I know it was a lot different than I thought it was. But if you want to try it, definitely give it a go. I'd say it's worth it. It was a fun experience. Maybe try going in the summer though, so camping is a little bit easier. But yeah, I think that's everything I needed to talk about. Overall, it was a good experience. I climbed in this tree because somebody tried a bike up there. And I thought it was cool. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, so thanks for watching. Now I gotta figure out how to get out of this tree. Oh my gosh. Oh shoot. Oh, okay. Not bad.